Look for the girl with the broken smile. Ask her if she wants to stay a while, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved.
Hey guitar players, it's Nate Savage here.
And I'm Chelsea Amber, and today we are going to show you 8 songs that you can learn with just 4 chords.
And we have 2 versions of each chord chart for you. One is in the original key, that way if you know all your bar chords and all your open chords, have those down really well, you can use that one. But if you only know your basic open chords, we have charts for you in the key of G major too. That way you can use a capo, and it's going to be really simple for you to get through these songs. If you don't know how to use a capo, don't worry, we'll kind of cover that along the way. But first, before we get into this, I want you to go down to the comments for this video and leave your favorite 4 chord songs or 3 chord or 2 chord songs, just so we can build a resource for guitar players that want to jump in and play some simple songs. The 4 chords you need to know to play through these 8 songs are G major, a D major, an E minor, and a C major. If you need help learning those chords, you can go to this video and check it out, but let's get into this. First song is from Tom Petty, and it's I Won't Back Down, and it's actually in the key of G, so you don't have to worry about a capo at all for this one. And you can get through this entire song with just this strumming pattern right here, which makes it super simple. Actually, most of the songs we're going to cover today, you can get away with just a straight 8th note or quarter note downstroke strumming pattern. And this one is a straight 8th note pattern, so just the entire time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and really the only thing you have to worry about is when the chords change. So key of G, so key of G major, but we start on an E minor chord, and you just have 1 and 2 and then switch to a D, 3 and 4, and then switch to a G, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you do that a few times. E, D, E, D, and then the third time you go to a C, and then go back to your original E, D, G. And that's the verse of the song. That's all we're going to cover for this video, but if you can play that, you can figure out the rest of the song from the chord chart we have for you. So give it a listen. Here you go.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
Comes the C.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
Song number 2, Zombie by the Cranberries, and this one is in the key of G as well, so you don't have to worry about a capo. The chord progression we're going to be working with is E minor, C, G, D. And if you want to get super authentic with it, you can do a D over F sharp, but a regular D will work just fine. And you can get away with a straight downstroke strumming pattern with this song too. And every song gets 1 measure, so that's pretty easy to keep track of. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. And this is the chorus of the song. We'll give you this one so you get a feel for how the tune goes, and then you'll be able to play through the entire thing with the chord chart. Here you go.
In your head, zombie, 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 hey, hey. What's in your head, zombie, 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 hey, 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 oh.
Song number 3, U2's With or Without You, and this one's in the key of D, so it's capo time. You can play it in the key of D if you want, original chords, but the way you use a capo is you just take your G chord, if you want to use G shapes, and this is your root note, this is your lowest root note, that's your key to finding the next key or where to place the capo. So all you have to do is move this shape up to where you are in the key of the new key of the song that you want to play. So we have to move this G up to where it is a D, and that's all the way up here on the 10th fret. And so we moved up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets. So we just place the capo on the 7th fret, and you'll be playing in the key of D major while using G shape. So actually, I'm gonna tune that just a second. All right, pro tip, anytime you put a capo on, retune your guitar because it's going to throw it out of tune. Anyway, we're all tuned up in the key of D major, but we're playing with G chord shapes. And the progression here is G, D, E minor, C, the entire song. That's all you have to remember. And you can do all downstrokes again. And each chord gets one measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do the chorus, and the verses are the exact same as the chorus. So.
With or without you. With or without you. I can't live. With or without you.
Next song is in G sharp minor, which is also B major. And it's Pokerface by Lady Gaga. And you may not think this would sound great on acoustic, but it's pretty fun to play. The chord progression is E minor, C, G, D. And you can get away again here with all downstrokes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. One measure for each chord. 2, 3, 4.
Can't mine, no, he can read my poker face. Can't mine, no, he can read my poker face. Poker face, poker face, poker face, poker face,
Next song is She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5, and it's in the key of C minor. Also, you can think of that as E flat major. So how do you find out where to put your G chord? Just move your root note up until you're on an E flat, which is all the way up here on the 11th fret. So how many frets did we move up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you would capo 8 to put yourself in the right key. And you can get away again here with all downstrokes, just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I believe every chord gets one measure. Starts on a G for like the pre-chorus. 2, 3, 4, then a D, E minor, back to a D, G, D, E minor, and then to go into the chorus, you go to a C, and then you're in the chorus G, D, E, and C, just over and over again for the chorus. So let you hear it in context what Chelsea's singing.
I don't mind spending every day out on your corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with a broken smile. Ask her if she wants to stay a while. She will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved.
Okay, the rest of the song is pretty straightforward. The verses, I think, only have 2 chords in it. Maybe it's the E minor and the D. So it's very simple to follow along with the chord chart. Next song, Love Story by Taylor Swift. And I believe this one is in the key of D major. So we need to back off our capo by 1 fret. And that will put our root note of our G chord on a D note, which means we can play G shapes in the key of D. And this one works with all downstrokes as well. Most of the chords here get 2 measures of 8th notes. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. Then here's where it changes. C only gets 1 measure, then to a D, 1, 2, 3, and on 3 you break. That's the chorus of the tune. Verses aren't much harder. Here's how it sounds. 2, 3, 4.
Romeo, take me somewhere we can belong. I'll be waiting. All that's left to do is run. You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yeah.
Next song is bringing the 90s back with a vengeance. All the way down here, capo 1, because it is in the key of G sharp. Who writes in the key of G sharp? I guess you have a capo, it doesn't matter what key you write in. But it's 3 a.m. by, who does this?
Matchbox.
Matchbox. I always want to say Blink-182 just because they have numbers in them. But the main chords you're going to use is just a G, D, and a C. G, D, C, and then you go E minor, D, C. And this is the first song that we're getting to where the strumming pattern is different. So let me try to break this down very simply for you. So you can kind of get away with all downstrokes if you want to, but this one is a better version. So down, up, down, down, and then switch to a D, D, and then a C. So and then you switch back to a D, and that's the main phrase that you need to have. So down, up, down, down, mute the strings, down, mute the strings again, down, 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 up, down, and then switch to a D. That's the main phrase, and we throw an E minor in there, but it's kind of the same idea for the strumming pattern. Here's how the chorus sounds. 1, 2, 3.
Well, she says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. Well, she says, baby, well, I can
Comes the E minor.
help it all sometimes, and the rain's gonna wash away, I believe it.
And the verses aren't much more difficult than that. If you can play the chorus, you can get through the verses with the chord chart, no problem. This next song, the last song, is Hey Soul Sister by Train, and this one's crazy because you have to capo all the way up to the 9th fret. But it sounds good. It sounds appropriate for this song because I think either that's the way it was recorded or maybe it was even a ukulele, so it's really kind of tinny and high. And I'll tune that again to the magic of video editing. So the strumming pattern here is not all downstrokes, but it is pretty easy. It's just down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And each chord gets that, on the verses anyways, gets that strumming pattern twice because each chord gets one full measure on the verses. So, and then you switch to a D, then an E minor, down, down, up, down, down, up, then a C, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And that's the basic structure for the entire kind of intro verse until you get to the chorus. Chorus changes a little bit, but we'll do the intro and the verse for you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, 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 your lipstick stains on the front lobe of my left side brain. I knew I wouldn't forget you, so I went and let you blow my mind. Your sweet moonbeam, the smell of you in every single dream I dreamed. I knew when we collided, you're the one I have decided, you're one of my kind.
So that's it. 8 super simple songs that you can play with just 4 chords and a couple simple strumming patterns. Thanks for coming out, Chelsea, and singing for me today.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. And if you need more help learning how to read through chord charts, how to transition between chords, you can always check out Guitareo. Loads of information there for you to get you playing the songs that you want. See you later. Pop, 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 poker face, pop, pop, poker face.
This one's gonna be rough.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh.
I don't know what key this is in. Let's see. A5 major capo 4.